And right now, here live tonight at 11:29, it's almost 11:30, folks. So we've had a lot of cold nights, so far this winter. But this one is really cold. And the big question, are we going to see more snow flurries around here tomorrow? JCPS, by the way, is back to class with their regular hours again tomorrow. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Profit, and thanks for staying up late with us tonight after Monday Night Football. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine about those chilly overnight temperatures. Where do we stand right now, Ben?
Yeah, this is the wind chill, Doug. It is frigid out there, 11 degrees, but you look just to the north, more extreme, not far away here at 2 below in Indianapolis, down to -9 in Fort Wayne. So some more of that cold air is going to be dropping our way with a cold front tomorrow afternoon. That'll give us a chance for a few snowflakes, but really no impact from that, with just a few flurries out there. But our low temperatures tonight in the teens, at times those wind chills in the single digits. So we are just bundling up for a very cold Tuesday on the way, and even colder for tomorrow night. Now, the next system looks to bring some rain for Saturday and maybe a little bit of snowfall as well. We'll talk a lot more about that coming up in our Weather Impact Team forecast.
All new right now on the WHAS11 night team. Drivers up and down the busy Blackiston Mill Road Bridge, an alternate route that Hoosiers take to get between northern New Albany and Clarksville. Well, the bridge was temporarily closed after the rush hour this morning, so Floyd County, Indiana crews could fill potholes and remove ice. Drivers are vocal on social media about this, and they say it's time to replace the bridge. And tonight, a county commissioner in Floyd County is telling us they've been working on doing that since 2017. WHAS 11 night teams Jose Alonso and photojournalist Levi Hammer have the story from the bridge.
Car after car. Blackiston Mill Road in New Albany experiences heavy traffic throughout the day.
It's an integral part of Floyd and Clark County connectivity, and that goes for residences who are traveling back and forth for work and commerce.
But sometimes the bridge gets a bad rap.
It's had lots and lots of trouble. I did hear yesterday that somebody got a flat tire from one of the potholes on it, and they put a big thing on Facebook.
On Monday afternoon, Floyd County crews filled potholes to ease damage caused by the winter weather and the salt. County Commissioner of District 1, Al Nabel, shared this rendering that shows how they plan to rebuild this narrow, two-lane bridge in northern New Albany, built in 1964.
We can't just build one overnight or take that down and rebuild. It's not as simple as that. The entire cost of the project is roughly $7 million.
Floyd County officials tell us about 4,500 drivers a day end up crossing the Blackiston Mill Road Bridge. And just right after the rush hour, traffic is flowing a little smoothly now, but during 5 o'clock, it was at a standstill. Cars were bumper to bumper as they slowly crossed the bridge.
We're in the middle of bridge hell. I mean, really, between the Sherman-Mitten, the 2nd Street Bridge, the Clarksville Bridge, they're always working on one, or one shut down, or one's got an accident on it. I mean, really, it is perpetual.
The county says they secured federal funds and the planning process is going well. They hope to break ground by the end of the year.
There's a thousand things that have to come together on something like this, and unfortunately it's not as easy as just going in there and starting to drive pylons.
The new bridge is expected to open by fall 2027, replacing the 60-year-old span built for a time when cars were much smaller. In Floyd County, Jose Alonso, WHAS 11 night team, on your side.
And real quickly, we do want to give a big night team welcome to our Jose Alonso as he is joining us night teamers, as we call each other here on WHAS. So glad to have his great reporting with us here at night as well. Well, Floyd County officials hope to keep the Blackiston Mill Road Bridge open until they fully construct that new one. If drivers see potholes get worse, they encourage you to let them know so they can go ahead and fix them. As JCPS students went back to school on a 2-hour delay today, their first time back in the classroom since December 20th. Many elementary school students had to walk to school this morning because of these untreated roads. We talked to parents dropping their kids off at school today, many annoyed with the fact that some side streets still look like this.
Roads are not great. I mean, like the main roads are fine, but the side roads were a little dicey. Yeah, as far as like in front of the school and cleaning it up and stuff, I mean, people are parking and their kids can't get onto the sidewalk.
Mayor Craig Greenberg said the city used more than 10 million pounds of salt so far. Well, for one Jefferson County High School student, after school today meant back to shoveling driveways and breaking up ice. 16-year-old Eric Rodriguez and his shovel have been going neighborhood to neighborhood answering calls for help we found tonight. WHAS 11 Night Team's Alex Dieterer went on a service call with him late today to see what's left a week after the storm.
Ice shattering like glass. The remnants of Kentuckiana's winter storm.
After my first few jobs, I first started with this, and then I noticed that to get underneath the ice, you need something a little harder, so I decided to go for that.
16-year-old Fern Creek High School student Eric Rodriguez.
And I was asked just to do this little sidewalk right here.
Started by helping out his own neighborhood.
My dad had slipped in the ice, so I was like, dang. I decided to clean it up, just so it'd be a little safer, and my dad ended up giving me about 20 bucks for it. I was like, thank you.
Then expanded to others, knocking on doors and even putting an advertisement out on social media.
I definitely noticed that a lot of companies and a lot of parking lots and stuff are getting their concrete and stuff plowed and stuff, but I looked at a lot of neighborhoods around and I don't see anything done, so I decided to just help out a little bit.
And over 20 calls for his shoveling services later.
Before today, I didn't even have gloves.
Eric is sticking with the basics. One shovel for snow and one to break the ice.
The ice is very tight to the concrete, especially when driveways that have the cars have been driven over the ice. It makes the ice a lot tighter to the concrete, so I broke a few snow shovels so far.
Something to keep him busy from a week off of school.
I just prefer to just be out and doing anything, so I decided, why not? Why not help out the community as much as I can?
Eric decided to give a little.
So there was snow, ice, and then snow again.
To get a little.
We have been a little happier for some reason. I like helping people, I like helping the community. So.
And is planning to do it again when the next snow falls, with gloves this time. In Louisville, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
And there he goes. Keep an eye on Eric. Could be our next mayor down the line. You never know. If you need any shoveling help with your own sidewalk or driveway, you can reach Eric at 502-526-1294. Again, 526-1294. He asked us to pass along his number. But remember, he's going to go to school first tomorrow. So it's going to be an early morning. JCPS is back to a normal schedule for the first time since December 20th. Happening today in a southern Jefferson County courtroom, southern Indiana courtroom, excuse me. Casey Null, the 28-year-old daughter of Jamie Null and Misty Null, taking a plea deal and sentenced to 9 months in jail today in southern Indiana. She was also ordered to pay back $113,000 to New Chapel EMS and the Indiana Department of Revenue. Casey Null was convicted of theft and tax evasion for stealing from her father's previous organization, New Chapel EMS. During the hearing, Judge Larry Medlock asked her how these crimes could have happened.
What have you learned?
The biggest thing I've learned is to not blindly trust people, even family. I followed the wrong examples, and I'm sorry.
I believe you're a victim of your father and perhaps a victim of your mother.
Casey does have 51 months of time suspended over to probation. Judge Larry Medlock let her know that he'd gladly make her serve the 5 years if she ever violated her probation. So in the end, she will actually serve 4.5 months at the Harrison County, Indiana jail, and then she may be released.
It is with immense gratitude that I stand before you to accept the honor of serving as Indiana's 52nd governor.
State of Indiana officially has their new governor, Republican Mike Braun. Braun is from Jasper, Indiana, and is the former U.S. Senator representing parts of southern Indiana. In his inaugural address, Braun highlighted the entrepreneurial spirit in Indiana, making the state the true crossroads of America.
From the farms to factories, our entrepreneurs have created thriving small businesses and some of the most important operations on earth, supporting critical industries in the daily lives of American citizens. In the face of any challenge, Hoosiers have stepped up to take our state to unprecedented heights, and we're not going to stop doing it.
As some of his top priorities, Braun said he will take on health care costs and call for transparency in pricing. He wants to tackle rising property taxes and mirroring the federal push. He mentioned reshaping government to be more efficient. After a year of negotiations to come to an agreement with the U.S. Department of Justice, a federal judge in Louisville could decide to throw out that consent decree between the DOJ and Louisville Metro Police. In a lengthy hearing held today, Judge Benjamin Beaton asked attorneys whether a consent decree is really the best path forward. Isaiah Kim Martinez was in the federal courtroom here in Louisville.
With President-elect Donald Trump taking office in a week, federal judge Benjamin Beaton, who he appointed, is raising concerns over, quote, racing to rubber stamp a reform agreement that'll impact LMPD's day-to-day. Beaton asking U.S. Department of Justice officials whether there is a less intrusive manner of resolving the dispute without judicial oversight of Louisville.
The biggest problem is that it's been so delayed, right? And so we're just happy to see some movement now.
Outside groups like the ACLU of Kentucky filing a brief in support of the judge approving the consent decree, set to guide LMPD procedures for the foreseeable future.
And you've heard, both sides agree that there is a need to make significant change to the police force here in Louisville. And we're hopeful that the judge will agree and enter this consent decree. And that's what the community wants.
Meanwhile, the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank,
I think it's on its last legs,
is calling on the judge to scrap the agreement altogether.
We're very pleased that the judge's questioning tracks very closely with our legal arguments. We expect that this thing will get tossed. Louisville will be safer as a result of it.
When asked by the judge to weigh the perceived impacts of a consent decree, Louisville Police Chief Paul Humphrey saying, quote, I believe some of these improvements we can get done more efficiently without a consent decree. The agreement requires a list of changes to LMPD's policies relating to excessive force, search warrants, and other areas to come into compliance with federal law. If approved, an independent monitor would measure progress and report back to the federal judge. No word yet on how long it'll take Judge Beaton to issue his decision. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
The judge weighed arguments for and against Louisville's police union. Just before the new year, they filed a motion to intervene in this case, saying the consent decree violates a number of terms in their collective bargaining agreement. We didn't get a timeline on, again, when the judge will rule on that either. Well, work is officially underway now at the Home of the Innocents here in Louisville to increase capacity to care for children. The Home of the Innocents is located at the end of East Market Street in Butchertown. Today, the organization broke ground on its $75 million expansion project, nearly half of which is funded by the Kentucky General Assembly. After construction is finished, the home plans to have enough beds to care for more than 120 children and young adults facing health challenges.
For decades, our residents would leave us when they turned 21, and about 40% of them would pass away within about 18 months of their discharge. We're getting ready to change that narrative because they are now going to remain with us for the entirety of their lives. And so this expansion helps make that possible, but it's also going to create more beds for children that also need a home here at Home of the Innocents.
Home of the Innocents renovated the old Bourbon Stockyards and moved there in 2004.